Can you hear me? Let me know down below if you can hear me, because then we got 50% of this little show going. But first of all, let me know how you lovely, sexy looking people doing. It's going to be a quick stream. I always say that, but it is going to be a quick stream. I'm going to try to get into what the thumbnail was portraying, and that is a new coin. Probably heard about it before because we have been invested. Actually, Betty, she got in already, I think it was in 2019. But today was the time, thank you so much. Today's the time where we will re-enter. And not only will we re-enter this coin, we will also stake the tokens at 25 APR. Now, you always know, I will mention the name of the coin in just 2 minutes, but I always like that we need to keep it a little bit exciting. What I like about this coin today is, the company behind it was one of the first blockchain companies in the world. Now it is located in Scandinavia. They've been around when it comes to blockchain terms a long time. And they have achieved some outstanding results. And in some areas, they didn't get as far as one would want it. You see, when we talk about new coins, right, usually in the industry and all other idiots, YouTube content providers or whoever, right? I mean, they are just, everything to the moon. So everything has to be over the top good. Now, I think today we will look at a coin that has fundamentally over years proven that they are a real company, a real blockchain with huge potential. But they're not as big as, let's say, Ethereum or R3 Corda. Very close to launching a CBDC, but it didn't quite get there yet. But from my point of view, the most important thing is, in order to get blockchain mass adoption, and I really do believe we need to see the CBDC being launched, and then subsequently we will see how companies, industries, enterprises, basically everything and everyone will need to migrate onto the blockchain. And therefore we will need smaller companies. You see, it's not enough just to have a blockchain, right? It's not enough just to be Ethereum, to be Solana, to be Cardano. You need kind of like some middlemen, some like consulting programmers, I would call them, that would help these businesses, companies, governments migrate onto the blockchain. So all I can say is, I want to welcome you to today's coin. We bought Chromia at 0.11 cent on the dollar. And my question is, what did you do? Let's start this little show of ours. And I hope you are just as excited as I am, because we are the littlest channel on the interweb. Oh, I love it. Started thinking it goes a little something like this. I want to welcome you to Crypto Never Sleeps. In case you're new to this channel, you want to stay on top of the crypto road, but then do me a favor, hit like, smash, and subscribe so that you can be notified every time we upload new videos, so that you can, this is important to me, protect your wealth, preserve your wealth, and ultimately increase your wealth. My name is Nico Arachi, and I am number one.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's young, he's handsome, he's a prophet, he's a poet. They know it. I must be the greatest. I told the world.
Oh, first things first. I love that Shahid, my soul brother, he was saying Katesi. No, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. But first of all, we need to do things, and we need to go and look at the level of market manipulation, right? So here we are. Oops. I mean, we're looking at, the 15-minute charts here. Let me just see. Put up a little. No, it is the way it is. And we can see Bitcoin is down 1.27 at 16,854. We got Bitcoin down 3%, Ethereum down 3% at 1,233. And then we got Cardano 31 cent on the dollar, down 2.4%. And then we got Polkadot at $5.30, down 3.81%. But it's funny again. And you know what? I think in tomorrow's live stream, I will really want to point out why this market is, let's say, correlating the way it is. And, there's so little money, and it is really being, let's say, I don't even, manipulated by a few hand whales, a few whales. That's really what you can see. It's just amazing. I mean, look at this correlation, right? What did we have? So today at 9:45, 9 o'clock my time, I mean, we all saw a drop and then just been going sideways. Well, nevertheless, let's go in. I mean, that's also why, you know me, that's why I don't believe so much in technical analysis, because I mean, it is really being orchestrated by a few. Anyway, let's look at the weekly as always with the 7-day moving average. Just as here maybe. This is something that I do not understand. Right? You know, this was like the last time we had streamed, and it also didn't work. This chart here. Now it's working now. Thank God. Thank the good Lord. The trading view doesn't, so we have to go here. And we have to put in the indicator. Well, then we see how we do that, right? We put in the moving average. Just take the purple one. Okay. Then we can see it here. So what we're seeing here is we are still below the 7-day moving average, right? Now, obviously, the 7-day moving average, we can see that's been, you know, obviously it's going lower since we are trading below. But we have seen the, you know, what Bitcoin coming from 15,000 up to around 16,000 where we are now. I mean, it is hard to say. I mean, but, you know, as a rule of thumbs, you know, when it comes to technical analysis and Bitcoin, as long as we trade below the 7-day moving average, it tends to stay there, and we would need to see it move above. Is it going to go down to 12,000? Well, you know, in terms of what I predicted, I hope so. We're going to see 8. I really don't know. But I think there's a lot of potential, and I think there's so, you know, we've been talking about this a lot. So let's go to the chit chat, and then let's focus on Chromia, because there's a lot of things to talk about, and I haven't really prepared it so good. So it's going to be a little bit, you know, learning by doing, how I kind of also analyze the coins. So let me see who is here. Who is here today? Thank you, No Face. Go trading view, right corner, click on auto and reset the chart. I will do that right after. It's always, you know, when I stream, and because I use another computer in order to trade. So when I come back here to the streaming computer, then that's just the way it was before. But thank you so much. Wow. Cryptostan is here. How are you doing? Cryptostan. You mean ever since Cryptostan has been here, you always have the same picture there. Is it Jesus? The holy, you know, Godson. Colin McDonald, how are you doing? In the veins. Yeah. I don't know what that means really. Queen is here, almost to bedrock, and Steve Wheeler is here. Good to see you. Well, anyway, we got all 10. Survival is here. Yeah, I'm okay. John Jones, I'm here. John Jones. Sounds like John Jones. It sounds like you're professional, you know, wrestler or something. We got 32 people watching. That's a lot for the littlest channel on the interweb. Okay, so what I want to do today is, because well, it goes without saying, and I'm very happy. It was actually Ivan on Tech who got me to me, myself, and I. How are you doing? It was actually Ivan on Tech who inspired me also to start this YouTube channel. And what I really liked, I want to go back to the chart here. What I really liked was that after we had, you know, the high in 2017 or 2018, I don't know if you were around at that time. You see, I started already back in 2016. But what I didn't do at the time was that when we saw the high here, you know, in 2018, when we saw Bitcoin hitting almost 20,000, and that, I mean, for me, I was an Ethereum man. I was never really a Bitcoin man. I was an Ethereum man. What did you say? We should go here. I'm not gonna. We'll just do it here. So I remember I bought originally Ethereum. When I entered, I bought it around between $8 to $10. But when we then saw Ethereum go up here over here, you know, and that was in the end of, what was that, in 2017? Well, end of 2017 or beginning of 2018, right? We all know that. So I just held it. I didn't sell it because at the time I was not sure, is it just gonna, first I bought at between $8 and $11. Then I sold it at 41, and that was a shame, right? And then I bought back at 70 and, lost out a lot there already. But nevertheless, I didn't know what was the potential. But what I want to point out is that I held it. I held it and I held it all the way from, almost 1,500, which we had here down to, I held it still, but when it went down to 81, what I want to get at is this was a depressing time in my crypto or in Betty's crypto experience. But the worst thing was that all through actually to 2019, actually 2020, there was nobody, you couldn't read anything, you couldn't get any positive information about the future of finance or what was going on, right? Mainstream media or any media that were simply not talking, writing, speaking about cryptocurrencies, blockchain. And anyone who would speak about it would say that's just some bad shit. So I was so happy. I was so happy when I actually found Ivan on Tech in 2019, I think. And what I loved about Ivan was his positivity, but not only his positivity, it was the insight that he gave that confirmed that blockchain is here to stay. And right now we are in a different scenario. We are, in fact, every day, almost every day, we can get mainstream media news that is actually confirming. Let's go over here. Boom. And let's just look at some of the news that we prepared. Every day we are getting news that are confirming that it's only a question of time until we're going to see mass adoption. For example, here, central bank plans to make CBDC only legal tender in Indonesia. I'm not going to go too much into it because I want to go to Chromia. I just want to, prove my point here. And here we go. Nigeria, they ban ATM cash withdrawals over $225 a week to force the use of the CBDC. Now, I'm not particularly a fan of the CBDC, but since we are here to make money, I do think that, CBDC, blockchain, that's the future. That's how we can make money. So, as I said before, Ivan on Tech, he was the one who motivated me to get in. But what was real fundamental was that after we had seen the bull market in 2017, 2018, and when we saw prices crashing, he was also the first one to say, I do believe, my experience when it comes to investing is, I hope, better than Ivan's. I think so. But what I wanted to say is that he was also at that time saying, you got to get in. You got to go against the trend. Blockchain is the future. And that's where I think we are now. We can perhaps go a little lower, perhaps. But I think the future of finance is being built right in front of our eyes. It's being built on the blockchain, and you got to go against the trend. So congratulations that you are here. Congratulations that I'm here. And let's have a Bahama Mama moment, and then let's go through Chromia. Bahama Mama. Wait. Can't drink it so quick. So first of all, I always like to, this is also with fishing, and in order to make sure that you always go to the right page, I like to use CoinMarketCap. We can see here Chromia is currently trading at 11 cents on the dollar, down. Now it's 12 cents. That's because, we just announced that we bought Chromia. We got so much front running and capacity. So when we announce something like that on the littlest channel and there are 20 people watching, well, then the price just spikes up. That's the power of Crypto Never Sleeps. Anyway, just before we move on, remember, everything I say and do is not financial advice. You do your own research and I do mine, because at the end of the day, I don't know shit about crypto. But if we go in here and we look at all, right, we can see it was quite, look at all this in this period, right, 19, and that was the real crypto winter. Nothing was happening, nothing. I cannot remember. I would have to owe you the Can't remember when we got in, but we got in around that price. Very, very low, very low. So we're already still, deep in the money, but having come from all the way up here from $1 almost 30 and being at 12 cents, I think it is time to enter. Now, why is it? And I want to point out that there are some things, we will go through it now, that didn't all succeed the way Chromia wanted it to, but I do think they're set up good for the future. But it is, remember, do your own research, risk. Anyway, so what you do is that you go in here to Chromia, and then you go to their website. Gonna have a little look at that. And so what is Chromia? Well, and when it comes to the real hardcore technology, I'm not the best man, but it is a relational blockchain platform that makes sense. Now, even if you really go through this website, it doesn't always make sense to me. But what I take out of it is, it all comes down to that they're combining the easiest programming language that the majority of programmers know. Remember, if you want to program on Ethereum, they have a specific programming language, which is, as I've heard, slightly more complicated than the normal programming languages. So, to scroll down here, we'll get to the projects, what they're doing. So what they offer is a relational blockchain geared for the real world, right? A blockchain is a simple list of transactions. I think this is what also a lot of people don't understand, that blockchain is nothing else than a ledger. It's nothing else than an Excel sheet or Google Sheets, right? That's basically what it is, where each line will just store some information. So let's say the fundamentals of the blockchain is it's not like sending a man into space. But so that's also what they're pointing out. It's a simple list of transactions. Finding anything requires you to search everything from start to end, and a relational database is the tech that powers the social network, your bank, all your non-trivial applications. And Chromia's technical solution is for the real world. Now, all this sounds good, right? Because we can look at 100 other websites, and they will be faster, and they will be more scalable, and they will be cheaper, and all them goodies, right? But there's one, or there are many things where Chromia actually stands out. But yeah, so you can go, and I think you get the point, right? So you can use traditional programming languages to build on Chromia. You don't need to know Singularity and the real hardcore blockchain languages. Also, where Chromia is going, and I think that goes without saying, is that they're very happy, and they are bridging, or going to be Ethereum virtual machine compatible. Also, not going to look too much about that. Now, the biggest success that they had I don't know if that was the biggest success, but Chromia did launch a game, and My Neighbor Alice, and which also launched on Binance, and that was a huge success. Now, I believe that Chromia and the mother company Chromaway is way, way bigger, and lots more opportunity in the future than simply in the gaming, even though gaming is a huge industry. And if you did follow these little channels of ours, then you might remember, right? Who the fuck is Alice? Well, anyway, you can go ahead and look at that game. There are many more things. I'm just having on that here. So the mother company of Chromia is actually Chromaway. Let's see here. Chromaway.com. And before we go back to Chromia, so Chromaway, what I think, some of the few things to point out is go in and look here, allow all, and about them. Need to find the block, because it is, first of all, here you can see some of them that they have worked with. Telia is one of the biggest telecommunication companies in Scandinavia. They've also, now this may not look so big, Låntemotteriet, but that is actually the the Swedish real estate register. So that's the government, right? That's the government where Chromia have launched, that you can have your that all real estate will be registered on the Chromia blockchain. And then, all of them, LHV, you might not know them. You can go in and you can do your own research, but, they've worked with some big guys. Now, I wanted to go in here and find the block. Go the block. Actually, and this is something that is quite interesting or, respectable. So Chromaway, they've been named by Deloitte to Sweden's, one of the 50 fastest growing companies, but this for the third year in a row. So when you go in here and there's so much information there, and I will also get to the things that are maybe not the best. We'll get them in a second. So for the third year in a row, Deloitte, and you can then go in here. I did that. You can go here to Deloitte Sweden website. But basically, it's I think So it's what is this here? In what is becoming a perennial occurrence, we are proud to once again announce Chromaway's inclusion on Deloitte Sweden Technology Fast 50 list. This list acknowledges the fastest growing tech companies in Sweden based on revenue growth over the last 4 years. It includes public and private companies and all technology areas and blah, blah, blah. But we hopefully would assume that there's no fraud here when Deloitte is launching that, right? I mean, Deloitte is one of the big four, right, accounting firms in the world. So we have to hope that the books are not cooked. So when you go in here and to Deloitte Sweden, and we reject all the cookies. No cookies for us. Here we go. And then you can see that actually there were 5 winners of 2022. So big congratulations. So actually, Chromaway came in number 4. But in the third year in the row, they were in the top 5. So that's a good thing, right? No, that's a good thing. What else do we have here? Let's see on the block that we can talk about. Yeah. They are working with L, the fashion brand, one of the biggest fashion brands in the world. So that's something and there are some other things you can go in and look at. What I want to take you back now to Chromia, right? So the mother company is Chromaway, and we're gonna go back to Chromia and see. No, I'm sorry. We're gonna go look at the projects that Chromaway they're doing. So go in and look at the solutions. And then you can see who they have worked with. So it is very enterprise focused. It's almost like very governmental focused. So land administration. So what they did here, and this is probably, I would say one of the biggest, you can say tokens of recognition for Chromia. And that is the Swedish Land Registry, and Chromaway and Kairos Future and Telia, which is the biggest telecommunications company in Sweden. They were investigating smart contracts and blockchain for the process of selling a house. And also down here with the land registration. So they partnered with the government. Furthermore, they've also partnered with the government. I don't even know what that is. Ahara Pradesh. I mean, I don't know what that is, but anyway, they partner with this government to build a blockchain-powered system for land registration. And so you can go in and you can look at the land registration report. When you go further down here, you can see when it comes to commercial real estate, rental agreements, and here they are working with Daimler Real Estate, and that is a company of Mercedes-Benz, Daimler Group, and this was already announced in 2018 or something. I mean, they started if I remember correctly, Chromia, they started in 2014. If I'm wrong, you can go in and do your own research. So yeah, they're working there with Daimler Real Estate of the Daimler Group, and they work with them to create a system to streamline the process of assigning and approving rental agreements to each internally released property. They're holding total sum of 800 million euros worth of rent each year. So anyway, so that's also something. green finance. It's all about going green, and the World Economic Forum and the G20, they're all about this. I don't know really. See, now we're gonna come to one of the points where I'm not completely, this. I don't know to what extent this here has become a success. However, the project was the Green Asset Wallet. And what does it do? It equips green investors with the technology to better deliver on the goals of the Paris Climate Agreement. In collaboration with Stockholm Green Digital Finance, Chromia, they built a platform for validating green investments, claims reporting. So all about green, but bigger, right? So let's just see here. And so the project is funded and co-developed by the Emerging Markets Dialogue on Finance, which is a project of Deutsche Gesellschaft. And so we should go in and look at the Green Asset Wallet, I think. So you go in here and then you look. And I mean, I looked a little. I mean, I've been following this, yeah. Now, I don't, all this going green thing here. Are we really there yet? Is this really, can you consider this and success when it comes to revenue, and is it really being used? I'm not sure. Is it going to be? Perhaps. But you can see who they are working with, right? Or they were also, backing and partnering in this. And, E.ON, I don't know if you know, that's one of the biggest energy companies in Europe. BlackRock, BlackRock, right? And even though, and we got the government of Germany, Swedbank is, I think, the second largest bank in Sweden. So this is a project that is really big, right? And they also, when you went in, and you can go and look at the news, it was actually also written, there was here on, there was some news, there was some thing, I don't know where it was, but it was on Financial Times. Anyway, so it's backed, it's, it's semi-governmental, but they haven't really done a lot yet. And I am being a little bit on purpose, not trying to sugarcoat it, because you got to do your own research, as I keep saying, right? So what is it? Let's say the big picture. There was somewhere where I could see, I mean, it's setting up, it's almost like setting up everything green bonds on the blockchain. So it's a great project, but let's see, because a lot of people don't want to go green according to the World Economic Forum, right? We know that. But what else do they have here? Then they have Thunderbeam, that you can go and look at yourself. E-currency. Now, this is interesting, but without success, right? So when we talk about the e-currency, you know what we're talking about. We're talking about the CBDC, right? So they came up with the Cuba, I think it's Cuba. So with Cuba, users, they can transfer euros on the Bitcoin network without being affected by fluctuations, blah, blah, blah. So what happened was that Sweden, even, they are part of EU, but they are not a part of the currency system. So they still have the krona, the Swedish krone. And they are going to launch the e-krona. So Chromia, together with Sofito, they were actually invited, and they were invited to present how the e-krona could be launched on their blockchain. They came pretty far, they did good, but in the end, they didn't win. They did not win, and it seems that the Swedish Riksbank is going to launch their CBDC on R3 quarter, which is one of the big ones. So in a way, of course, you could say, that's, how bad and how sad it is that they didn't, let's see here, CBDC tracker. You could say how bad it is that, there's not going to be launched a CBDC on their blockchain. But on the other hand, getting there, being number two, almost getting there, still gives you lots of credibility. And that's what I mentioned in the beginning, where I said, I think once we are going to see the need for traditional enterprises companies to migrate onto the blockchain, they don't know how to hire programmers. They don't know how to to get there, and that's when you need in between companies, and that's why I see huge potential for Chromia. Now I'm taking you here to the CBDC tracker because you can go in here and then you can choose. I did a little bit of research. Obviously, I wanted to see how far Chromia. I was hoping that Chromia would, of course, win, even though I think that the Swedish Riksbank, they're going to take R3/4. It does say here that the technology is undecided, but I mean, I don't think that that's going to change anything, but it would be great. However, as I said, maybe Chromia will not, end up providing the CBDC, but they're still working when it comes to land register, right? What an incredible partner, client to have on your resume. I don't think I have to say much more about Chromia. I think, you can go in and you can read more if you think it's interesting. What I will show you is how we will stake them. Yeah. I want to see, did we go over all solutions? I think we did. Yeah, the e-krona. So I did this right prior to the stream, so nothing will go wrong. So we know how to stake them. I will be talking, I hope, around. I'll be there. So here you can see, let me just see, can you hear me? I hope so. Let me know if you can hear me in there. I hope you should be able to. Well, first things first, and that is, I just want to show where you can buy Chromia. I mean, they're basically on all exchanges, right? On all the big ones. And that's always a good thing. And here we can see it was in the all-time high. But anyway, what I always like to point out, it goes a little too quick here. As I also showed you before, I always like to use CoinMarketCap in order to make sure that I will end up at the right page, right side. Until now, there's been no scam or phishing from CoinMarketCap, right? So you press there, go. So you can hear me. I'm not sure that you could hear me there before, right? I hope you can hear me now. Anyway, I was talking a lot about, but let me know. But you can see here in the background, and then we go now to yeah. Put me. So we go from there, we go to their website, chromia.com. Then, this happens when I don't prepare good. I'm sorry for that. Here we go. Now you can see it. I mean, what a fuck up. So remember, you go from CoinMarketCap for the third time. Go to their website, chromia.com. There you can see staking up in the top. So you press there, you go to staking. It will take you to the staking page. And if you are unsure, you go to more, and it will exactly describe all the steps that you need to take and what is involved. You go back here and then you press stake. Now, I need to point out, it's important that you can see, minimum is 1,000 Chromia that you need to stake. And if you do not, first when I went in and checked their Chromia staking site, I had 0 Chromia on my MetaMask because I had bought my Chromia on Binance, and until now I've been staking Betty's it is working, Chaotic Rage. And we've been staking on PancakeSwap, Chromia with BUSD. So I just tested, but if you don't have any Chromia tokens in your MetaMask wallet, then it will not recognize it, and you think there's some kind of mistake. And minimum 1,000, so yeah. So I thought we will stake. Yeah, there we go. You connect to the MetaMask. And yeah, we got there 1,448. I thought we should stake 1,069. Oh, 1,001? No. And there we go. And then you go stake. And then, of course, you have to pay. And I think it costs $2.80. Obviously, for 1,069 Chromia tokens, maybe $2 is a lot. Betty will be staking more, and I will also be showing you that tomorrow, but not on this computer. It's just so it went quick, pretty straightforward. Around 25% APR. Of course, they say that can change. Now the only thing is that you should be aware of is that. It will take you 2 weeks. So if you want to withdraw your tokens, then I think you need 2 weeks notice. And then you can see, I mean, the interface is, I don't know if it's very sexy looking, it's very simplistic, but sometimes simplistic or simple is really the way forward, right? So you can stake, you can request, withdraw, and you can collect stake reward. And that's it. That's really it. So, yeah, that's it for today. That is it for today. Hallelujah. There are some days when you're just on top of your streams, and then there are days I'm back in Ukraine. I was with my kids here over the weekend. When you come back to Ukraine again and there's no electricity, I mean, if it really disturbs with the computer, it also disturbs with the setup and also the amount of time we can actually do with the research. So today was probably not the best stream, but I do hope that it added some kind of value. I really hope it did. So yeah, tomorrow we will be launching a video about Chromia, one of those boring videos. However, yeah, let me know what you think about Chromia, because as I said, it has some potential. But it also didn't achieve all the success that it wanted. But I think it has achieved a lot more than some of the other platforms, protocols that we are viewing. Guys, I love you so much. I thank you for being here. Let me see how many are here. All 20. We got 28. I mean, what more can I wish for? I love you all. And don't forget to always watch Big Boy and his big pants, right? At least there we can always have a look. Or have a laugh before we go to bed. See you tomorrow. I will be live. And remember, you gotta follow your everyday passion.
Living your passion is a great idea, okay? It's a great thought. And people confuse that with the idea that it's going to be easy or that it's going to be fun. No. You guys need to realize that no matter what path you take, no matter what route you take, no matter what direction you take in life, there are going to be days where you do not feel like doing anything. You don't feel like going to work. You don't feel like doing your job. Those days are going to be there no matter what path you take. Well, you know what? I live my passion every day. And you know what? There's still days I don't feel like doing it. And that's the point that you guys need to understand. I have days I hate. You have days you hate. And everybody else on this earth has days they hate, and it's the people who push through those days anyway that end up making it or not, period. And it's going to be your ability to move past, over, or through those obstacles on a daily basis that are going to define your success from your failure. They're going to find the difference that you make in your life. So don't come at me with the idea of, oh, living your passion is all roses and rainbows, unicorns. It's not.
Show me what you got. And I'm telling you, some of y'all, you lying to yourself. You say you want to be great. You say you want to get to the next level. You say you want to be dominant on that field. You say you want to go to the Final Four. You say you want to be a national champion. Listen to me. You say you want a promotion. You say you want to start your own business. But listen to me very closely. You talk too much. Shut up and let's go to work. I need you to grind. Are you hearing me? I need you to grind. Every single opportunity you get, every chance you get, show up. Listen to me, just be consistent. Success is allergic to average. Success and average don't have nothing to do with each other.
We were meant to go out and be battle tested. We were meant to go out and face adversity. We were meant to go out and grow over the course of getting our ass beat day in and day out. Realizing that those kind of beatings are what define you in life. When you open your eyes to a point where you understand that the beatings that you take, the no's, the hate talk you get from your friends, from your parents, your peers, whenever you tell them, I want to be successful, I want more, those are the things that ultimately end up defining your life because you come out stronger.
Maybe your mama ain't there for you, your daddy ain't there for you. Maybe your teacher don't believe in you and so she's not holding you to greatness because she don't know. But I know something about you. If you're watching this right now and you went to the very end, I know you're great and I dare you to be great. I challenge you to be great. I challenge you to be great in every single thing you do.
Living your passion is a great idea, okay? It's a great thought. And people confuse that with the idea that it's going to be easy or that it's going to be fun. No,